Welcome everybody to the official Dark Times cast and crew interviews. This has been quite the exciting project to put together and we couldn't have done it without you, the Dark Timers. With Season 2 currently in development, we thought it'd be great to push out press-related content in order to grow our audience and entertain the current audience during this time of rare videos. It's totally not like each episode took months or anything. Yeesh. Anyways, it's time to get to the interviews. First up, we have one of the executives, PlutosARealPlanet. Pluto also voices the character Evalynne throughout Season 1. Do you remember how Dark Times started off all those years ago?
Well, back when I first met our director, he actually was working on something called How to Medieval, which has evolved over the years through way better writing and management to become Dark Times.
Great! Now, how are you hoping Evalynne grows as a character, and now a mother, in Season 2?
Well, I'm hoping that we get to see a little more of Evalynne's personal side instead of her more militaristic side that we've seen with her being in a leadership role. I also am really excited to see how the family dynamics of the whole group grow as we go on.
Next up is our second executive, Zack Bex. He's mostly helped with Season 2, but also helped with the later episodes of Season 1. Now, Zack, I have a question for you. How do you feel about the progress of Season 2's script so far?
Pretty good. We have completed the full outline draft for each episode, and right now we're halfway done, or almost halfway done, with the dialogue for episode 1. I think you guys will see it very soon.
If you were to pick a character as your absolute favorite, ride or die, you can't pick anyone else, you want everyone else to die, one singular character, who would it be?
It would probably be Quinn. Yeah, I would definitely say Quinn.
Can I ask why? Why Quinn?
I don't know. His character is compelling. That character right there. Perfect.
With the pesky executives out of the way, we now move on to our primary builder, Prongs. So Prongs, what exactly was your favorite set to build so far and why? And as a piggyback question, what was the most challenging set to build and why?
Well, actually, my favorite build was the sewer. I feel like it was a really great opportunity for me to build like kind of my own thing in Dark Times. I had so much fun while building it too, and I think that it looks amazing as a build and complements Dark Times very well. And my most challenging build easily has to be Gold after it got destroyed by Bryce the Necromancer. Artificially creating a destroyed city was something that I've never done before, much less with mods like chisels and bits. Oh, and speaking of bits, this set included the most bits I've ever worked with. But the detailing that went into the set as a whole totally completes the look, in my opinion.
Second question, how was working on the set before the episode is produced spoiled you for the upcoming episodes?
Well, so building sets has occasionally spoiled me for upcoming episodes, and it actually depends on what I'm building specifically. So, like, we can go back to the Destroyed Occult set, which is probably, as an example, the most revealing of Season 1's plot to me, because this city literally gets destroyed. But other smaller builds, like the Necromancer's Hole in the Wall from episode 11, weren't really that revealing, but I still understood what was going to happen in the episode.
It's time for some voice actors. Please welcome the voice behind my personal favorite character, as well as our main skin and thumbnail designer, ChrissyPixy. So, throughout Season 1, Thief has said some questionable things that could possibly make someone a little uncomfortable. Now, I'm dying to know which lines specifically were the most awkward to record.
The one with, Marty coming to the Mage's house, and Thief is talking about cleaning the staff. Yeah, I had no idea about that until, I watched it the second time.
Now, a question that some people were asking is, so Thief, in episode 12, in the post-credits scene, she's saying something and her voice cuts off as the figure comes forward. So what exactly were you saying in that scene?
It was a whole lot of stuff. Well, not a lot, but stuff that I thought she might just say if someone told her to just start talking for no reason. I rambled about that for a moment, and then I went on to say at the very end to wash your hands and stay 6 feet apart and wear a mask and, all the stuff they've told us to do. And then I think that was the end of it.
I have one more question for you since you're my favorite character. You're welcome. Everybody else gets 2, you get 3. So, do you happen to know the total number of skins you've done for Dark Times?
Alright, I think I'm not quite sure, but I think that it's close to maybe 500 now.
Oh my god. Oh.
I haven't looked exactly, but from the folders that I have, there's quite a few in each folder, so quick maths. Around 500.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, thank you for your service in the skin department and the thumbnail department too.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
It's time for everyone's favorite mage, aka the only mage. Please welcome Morgan Pander. Now, there have been some memes in the Dark Times community regarding one of your biggest regrets. Do you mind explaining what it is and how it made you feel when you found out about it?
Well, you see, during the production of Dark Times Season 1, I wasn't actively watching the episodes while they were, releasing and stuff like that. While I was recording, I hadn't heard the Necromancer's name before. If you go back and watch those episodes of Season 1, you'll hear that the mage, when he's talking about the Necromancer, he isn't talking about the Necromancer. Actually, he is, but he isn't saying Necromancer. He's saying Necromander, or sometimes even Necromanda. And it was pretty awkward, because, it was just purely a mistake. But it seemed like most people just thought it was funny.
I love that. Yeah, the Necromanda's definitely given the cast and crew a couple laughs. Several memes, I'll put them on the screen now. But next, unfortunately, the mage passed away in episode 11. But, with that said, do you plan on returning to the studio to voice a different character or more in Season 2?
During the recording of this interview, the remake of episode 1 hasn't premiered. I am voicing a small little random character in that. He has like 2 lines, something like a drink and blending. I am also going to audition for some roles in Season 2. At the time of me saying this, the auditions haven't happened yet. So who knows, maybe you will hear me again in the second season as a different character, or maybe you won't, who knows.
Alrighty, joining me now is the voice talent behind Shay Lightdragon. Back in episode 9, you sang the motivation song very beautifully. I'd like to know what the process was like for you when putting together the song with both Tanner and I, weeks before episode 8 even released.
Well, thank you for the compliment. It was certainly an interesting process. For one, I had to keep quiet about the whole thing, so it was kind of a secret project, behind the scenes sort of thing. I had to submit multiple recordings, at least one for each section of the song I did, and I often redid sections of the songs just to perfect it and make sure that everything was running smoothly.
So after the song, of course, Shay as a character was very distant from the Necromancer and Bryce because she found her motivation. Now, how did it make you feel to know that Shay has turned a new leaf and become a protagonist now?
Actually, I was pretty happy to hear about it. Shay has always been an interesting character for me. Well, because I voice her, but also because, at first, it seemed like she didn't really care about the Baron, and that she was actually evil and wanted to work for the Necromancer. But throughout the series, you can kind of see, between the interactions of Shay and the Necromancer, that she was scared of him, and seemed to really only work for him because she felt she had to, or she was scared of what he would do. And this song not only showed that she still actually cared about the Baron, but also it helped her to realize that she didn't want to be a part of this, and, well, helped her find her motivation. And she decided, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm going to go do my own thing, I'm going to take control of my life. And so it was a really cool moment, I really liked it.
Great. One of the newer additions to the cast, playing the ominous Death Key, aka Vance if you didn't know, is played by Sean. It came to my attention that voicing the Death Key in the finale was the first time you've ever voiced a villain in your voice acting career. How did it feel going through that and exploring different techniques to get Vance's charisma down?
Honestly, it was a ton of fun. Just sitting there and trying to figure out, what makes it sound more evil and what makes it more sound like he's trying to pretend to be like in the moments where he's supposed to be like, oh no, like a sarcasm, like doing his sarcasm thing, and then transitioning that into being more like evilish. I kind of just like thought, when I imagine a villain, what does he sound like? I just kind of tried to imitate that, and it definitely took a couple tries each time I tried to do it, but in the end, I feel like it came out quite alright.
I agree, and I think you're gonna enjoy what I have in store for you for season 2. I would like to know, you haven't been here long, but for the time you have, you've probably watched at least some of Dark Times, and so I was wondering, what's your favorite character and why?
Alright, so there's definitely a few. I'd say though, it'd be between, I think I gotta give it to the king. The king who everyone believed was innocent, until the very end. I feel like that twist and everyone's reaction and how it was handled was just such an interesting situation, and him being able to be that two-faced the entire time and it be hinted at throughout the entire thing, but no one really catching on until the very end, I think was like really interesting. I think that was why it makes him my favorite character.
Awesome. I kind of have to agree. He's definitely up there because of that. Up next, we have our fabulous voice of Bryce, S.A. Mitcham. Not only has he voiced multiple roles throughout Season 1, but he also wrote the end of Episode 10 and most of Episode 11. I can't forget to mention the amount of writing he did for the Necromancer scenes as well. Now, after writing so much of Bryce and the Necromancer, which one of them is your personal favorite?
Oh, if I had to pick one of them, Bryce, I have to say, mainly because I just enjoyed writing him more. He felt more of like this anti-hero type character that could possibly... He basically made a wrong decision, and that decision just kind of spiraled out of control. And writing for characters like that is pretty fun.
Indeed, indeed. So after Season 1, Bryce's whereabouts are still a mystery. So what are your hopes for Bryce as a character in Season 2 following the events of Season 1?
I mean, he's kind of at like a halfway point. He's at his lowest point at his character right now. He's fought one of his friends. He, kind of basically destroyed the town. There's not really much worse for him to go to. So probably some kind of redemption arc, if that is at all a thing.
I like that. We shall see in Season 2, which will air in the coming months. Second to last, but not second to least, please welcome HeyItzAPotato, the voice of Dani and the Donan Queen. Now, can you please explain to me how the Dani character was created specifically for you?
So, you texted me on Castle Call, said, hey, send me your Discord. Then we got in touch on Discord, and you said, hey, we liked your night audition, but the night voice actor is doing pretty good right now, so we're gonna promise you a character that will eventually come on later in the storyline. And I was like, well, maybe it's just gonna be like this one character that has like a couple lines and dies in the 4th episode. But Dani's actually really cool, and she has a big place in the storyline now, and that makes me happy.
You're no stranger to voicing in Minecraft Machinimas and roleplays, and I'm very curious to know where Dark Times sits among all the projects you've worked on.
Considering Dark Times is like the 3rd medieval roleplay I've voiced in, and I really like medieval roleplays, it kind of sets high on all my projects because you obviously put a lot of work and time into it, and it seems to get better every episode. So I know that you really take it seriously, and the story's great, so it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Now, last but certainly not least, the voice of fan favorite Quinn and Felix, I bring you JustBlank. Now, Justin, how has voicing both Quinn and Felix been challenging?
Oh boy. So at first I thought Felix would be like a smaller character compared to Quinn, but I soon abruptly realized that that was not the case. And so I thought he was sort of like an extra character. His voice won't be used much, but I had to voice him a lot in some other cases, and in some scenes they almost sounded the same because one, I was tired, and oh no, my voice did not go high enough on other days.
I feel that. it's pretty clear that Quinn is the fan favorite. So how does that make you feel?
Honestly, that's pretty cool. I've always liked Quinn ever since like episode 1, but I didn't realize everyone else liked him. So I mean that's cool. I get to voice that guy.
Not gonna lie, neither did I. It's kind of crazy how much Quinn like evolved, because I never anticipated on Quinn being such a prominent role, but now he is because of the fans, and honestly, I'm fine with that. Phew. It took a while, but I am finally done with these interviews.
You forgot I have to interview you.
Great, Kiss Street.
So, Mr. Smith, as the director and creator of Dark Times, how has Dark Times shaped your life?
So, it just takes a lot of my time, but it always turns out well in the end. And I really, really felt complete, especially at the end of episode 10, because that episode had been written like 2 years prior to the production. And honestly, at the end of season 1, my whole life was complete as well, but now it's kind of incomplete because we have season 2 to do.
Alright, so can you tell us anything about season 2? Do you got any major stuff that you would like to tell us for the viewers?
So what I can tell you is insert image on screen here. And this will be a character in some capacity in Season 2. I'm not going to tell you what it is or whatever, but it will be in Season 2.
Nice, I was not expecting the character reveal this early.
Yep, it do be like that right now. Am I done yet?
Yes you are.
Okay, good. Now I can go edit this video.